And the guy's griping about NIL, transfer portal, using it the most and bragging about it the most.
NIL has a lot to do with where players go.
Everything was all right until apparently somebody goes to Ohio State while Lane Kiffin is spending $27 million. Lane Kiffin, the notorious Twitter head coach. He's gone down in infamy, around the world, and specifically on my channel, about crying, complaining about the NIL. And it's interesting because Ole Miss, and specifically under the Lane Kiffin regime, has probably benefited some of the most under this NIL regime. So what we're going to do is get down to the bottom of why Lane Kiffin has such a big issue with other teams getting money and his legal cheating, quote unquote, as he calls it. Read some quotes, go through some classic videos, and then also him alluding to a classic beef with Jimbo Fisher, and maybe Quinshon Judkins competing for a national championship after leaving him might have a big deal with him being so upset at Ohio State. So let's hop right into it, man. If you enjoy these videos, leave a like on it if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy college football content. Let's take you all the way back to 2022.
We don't have the same, funding resources as some of these schools do, for these NIL deals, and so it's basically like dealing with different salary caps. We now have a sport that has completely different salary caps, and some of these schools are, 5-10 times more than everybody else of what they can pay the players. So I know nobody uses those phrases, but that is what it is. So I joked the other day, I didn't know if Texas A&M was going to incur a luxury tax, and how much they paid for their signing class.
Obviously, and we know, I'm sorry, if you've been around college football for at least 5-10 years, you know about this. You know about Jimbo going off on Nick Saban and Lane Kiffin, and that is kind of what spurred it on. But let's also read this one. I mean, not read this one, listen to this one. This is actually a video we watched on a few episodes back, or few videos back about him in the legal cheating.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously said a lot about NIL from the beginning of it. Let's make sure that we understand. I love that the players are getting paid, and I just say how it is. So, I guess I got called a clown before for saying how it is. NIL has a lot to do with where players go. And to not think that's crazy. And it'd literally be like being a head coach in the NFL, signing a great free agency class, of signing guys, going out and getting these great players and coming up here and saying to you guys, the contract had nothing to do with why the players came here. They just want to come play for me. So obviously it has a lot to do with where players go, and it should. You're talking about 17, 18-year-old kids, adults choose jobs a lot of times for money, for salaries. So why would a kid not?
No, actually, okay, I'm happy that we did do another clip. I thought it was the same clip. This is actually a new clip we haven't watched on the channel, but I've seen it before. And I think to kind of hearken that, like, what Lane Kiffin saying is right. It's right. Lane, when no one's mad that you're saying it, we're mad that you're complaining about it being in the SEC. It's so dumb to me that instead of complaining about it, he couldn't wait the 1 year. In just 2 years, in just 2 years, Walker Jones and the Grove Collective changed the tenure of NIL conversations around Ole Miss campus. The NIL entity was playing major catch-up when Jones arrived in the fall of 2022. So Lane Kiffin, these videos are from 2022, and him moaning and complaining about not having NIL money as NIL money was being funneled. And we fast forward to 2024, not only is NIL being funneled, they have the top 10 NIL evaluation based on On3 in the world of college football. Are you serious? You were at Ole Miss. Eli Manning went to Ole Miss. Like, plenty of NFL players. So to get on this like soapbox, I get why people are in my comments mad at y'all was getting mad at me. Y'all saying like, hey, I didn't say this. That was Lane. I was like, the stupid SEC's complaining now. Like, that wasn't me. That's Lane. But I feel the same way. I feel y'all. I'm yelling at him for y'all. Don't yell at me. Yell at Lane. Y'all was yelling at me. But nah. Like in all seriousness, it doesn't sound right coming from an SEC school with all the history that Ole Miss has, all the notoriety that Ole Miss has, and Lane Kiffin and his a band of mediocre, cool quarterbacks with a little swagger, right? He gets the most swagged up whiteboard quarterbacks of all time that can't do anything and can't push anyone past an SEC championship. But hey, man, I digress. Ole Miss also isn't just, one of the top 30 when it comes to the funds of their actual revenue and expenses. But, we're not going to go deeper into that. What we will go deeper into, we're going to finish off this video and then about him still hammering Texas A&M because he wanted a luxury tax back in February. Like, look at all of this he was talking back in February 2022 just for him to now be a part of one of the biggest NIL collectives, sniping up people all over the place. But hey, man, if you can't beat them, join them. But here he is talking about adding a luxury tax to Texas, my team. What? And Tam, you?
Has NIL changed the landscape of college football forever?
So it's changed. I mean, it's basically like everybody's got different salary caps, like I joked the other day, like, hey, are they going to implement a luxury tax on Texas and Texas A&M? I mean, because, what they're paying the players is unbelievable, but it's legal. So, you got players that have never played before making hundreds of thousands and even $1 million. So it just is what it is, but it's not going to be an equal playing field around the country at all. And to me, you're going to see this happen, because what would happen in the NFL if people had different salary caps, eventually, those guys with the highest salary caps go in a lot of games.
And that's actually a good point. It's actually something that we kind of talked about in some of our other NIL videos, but obviously these things are going to be fixed when it comes to revenue sharing. Again, that's another video coming up soon. I don't want to hear about that. Let's hear Jimbo get spicy. Yeah.
Do you kind of consider it a slap in the face or whatever when there's these thoughts out there that it's because a lot of money is being spent and just your thoughts?
Here's what I'm going to say, and this is point blank. Because here's my problem. There is no $30 million fund. There is no $5 million. There is no $10 million. This is garbage, okay? And it pisses me off that people, and here it comes from a site called Bro Bible by a guy named Sliced Bread. Then everybody runs with it. So it's written on the internet as gospel. How irresponsible is that? I'm going to tell you, there's some very reputable writers in college football and sports that wrote it and have said it and have done things. That's unbelievable to me. When I first heard it, I laughed. I said, oh, yeah, what a clown. I didn't even think anything of it because I don't have social media. And it kept building, and lately I've heard more about it. To me, it's insulting to the players that we recruited that's why they would come here. You ever been to a game here? You ever come to school here and see the education? You ever talk about the 12th man, the Aggie Network when you're done? There ain't a better university in this country. And it's insulting to what you say. And all these, and we got writers who have said it and done it off Sliced Bread. A guy named Slice who made it up. Love to see who Sliced Bread is and put it out there with Sliced Bread. Let me find out where it comes from. And then to have coaches in our league and across this league to say it, clown acts. All right? Irresponsible as hell. Multiple coaches in our league. And the guy's griping about NIL, griping about transfer portal, using it the most and bragging about it the most. That's the ironic part. You want character? I'll take it with any of y'all. It's a joke. It does piss me off. The other thing, when you look at vice president, I get another one. Vice president of Notre Dame. Supposed to be a reputable university, right? That's a heck of a person leading a reputable university. I'd be real proud if I hired that guy. Read it off Sliced Bread. But they say it because it's written on the internet. We worry about the kids and social media and internet. How about grown-ups? How about the guys that are supposed to be setting an example? How about writers who are supposed to be writing the right thing? How about coaches that are supposed to be doing the right thing?
Okay. This is awesome. I know there's a reason why I like Jimbo, man. He couldn't coach worth it in Texas A&M, which I appreciate that. As a Texas fan, that's awesome. You kept these motherfuckers mediocre before we came back in the SEC and dog walked the Aggies. Fuck ass maroon. That shit's terrible. Anyway, I get a little excited when we talk about Aggies, but let's get a little deeper into it, all right? Because we talk about all this craziness. We talk about how ironic it is that one of the biggest proponents of the NIL deal and using the transfer portal is one of the most biggest, baddest users. So do you know a name by the man of Quinshon Judkins? He ran through my Texas Longhorns. Let's not talk about it too much. But regardless, there was a wee little SEC up-and-coming coach that camped out in the last December at a high school game to make sure Quinshon Judkins came to Ole Miss. And did he come to Ole Miss? He didn't just come to Ole Miss. He was a breakout star. Quinshon Judkins rushed for 27, 25 yards, 31 touchdowns in 2 years. Set single-season records at Ole Miss as a freshman. Now he's off to Ohio State. Everything was cool. Everything was all right until apparently somebody goes to Ohio State. Now all of a sudden, in January 21st, this was a year ago, Ohio State spent $13 million in counting on NIL and attempt to field a leader roster? While Lane Kiffin is spending $27 million to scope and snipe every single prospect possible. You want me to feel bad, Lane? You want me to feel bad because you camped out? I had to watch high school football in December. I had an elite running back for 2 years and couldn't do anything with it. I had a single season freshman record breaker and I couldn't do anything in the college football playoff. 2 years of elite running back play. That is a premium in the world of the NIL era. So clearly he was paying him good. Clearly there's a reason he came. And clearly there's a reason why he left. And now, as a backup, as Kirk Herbstreit says, he's in the national championship. So yeah, I'd be hurt. I'd be upset. I would be really mad too, Lane Kiffin. And it's crazy because this is like everything biting him in the butt, right? You know what I'm saying? He was talking all that hot crap in 2022. He's out there recruiting his guy in 2022. And then 2 years after that, in 2024, all that talking about NIL and everybody's spending so much money while you spending a bunch of money and using the transfer portal to get people in. Merry Christmas. Say goodbye to your generational running back. Watch him go win a national championship. So, yeah, that's what y'all get. That's what you get, Lane. I'm just really, y'all are right. Okay, y'all was in my comments telling me that Lane's annoying. I know Lane's annoying. I know Lane's annoying. But look at this. Look at these quotes, these quotations. He's insufferable. And he wants to act like, he's the victim. Reminds me of a lot of people I know. Anyway, leave a like on this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Comment down below what the biggest problem was with NIL and how you would fix it. Subscribe if you enjoy these college football videos, and we'll see you next time. Peace.